Have you ever wondered what it's like for a country of over 120 million people to have no direct access to the sea? That's the reality for Ethiopia, the most populous landlocked nation on Earth. For decades, this geographic challenge has shaped its economy, its politics, and its destiny. But now, Ethiopia is making bold moves to change its fate, sparking a geopolitical chess match across the Horn of Africa. This is the story of Ethiopia's high-stakes port gambit. For nearly 3 decades, Ethiopia has been almost entirely dependent on a single port, Djibouti. Think about that. Over 95% of all its imports and exports, everything from fuel and food to cars and construction materials, travels through this one foreign gateway. This reliance has created a major vulnerability. Any disruption in Djibouti, whether political instability, logistical bottlenecks, or price hikes, could cripple the Ethiopian economy overnight. It's like having all your eggs in one very expensive, very crowded basket. The port fees alone cost Ethiopia over $1 billion every year, a massive drain on its resources. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been very vocal about this, calling sea access an existential issue for his nation's future. So, the question isn't whether Ethiopia needs more options, but where it can find them. Enter the Port of Berbera in Somaliland. In early 2024, the world was stunned by a bombshell announcement. Ethiopia had signed a memorandum of understanding with Somaliland, a self-declared republic that broke away from Somalia in 1991. The deal is groundbreaking. In exchange for Ethiopia formally recognizing Somaliland as an independent state, a move no other country has yet made, Ethiopia would get a 50-year lease on a 20-kilometer stretch of coastline. This includes access to the Port of Berbera and, crucially, the right to establish a naval base. For Ethiopia, this is a dream come true: a dedicated port, a stake in its operations, and a military foothold on the Gulf of Aden, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. It's a direct answer to its long-held strategic anxieties. The Port of Berbera itself has been undergoing a massive transformation. With a huge investment from DP World, a global logistics giant based in Dubai, Berbera has been expanded and modernized. New cranes, a deeper harbor, and a state-of-the-art container terminal have turned it into a serious regional player. A new highway, known as the Berbera Corridor, is also being built to connect the port directly to the Ethiopian border, slashing transport times and costs. This infrastructure development makes the deal not just politically attractive, but economically viable. It promises to create a new, efficient trade route that could supercharge Ethiopia's economy and provide a real alternative to Djibouti. For Somaliland, the deal offers the one thing it has craved for over 30 years: diplomatic recognition. It's a chance to finally step onto the world stage as a sovereign nation, unlocking international aid, investment, and legitimacy. However, this bold move has sent shockwaves through the region. Somalia, which still considers Somaliland part of its territory, was furious. The government in Mogadishu called the deal a blatant violation of its sovereignty and an act of aggression. They nullified the agreement, recalled their ambassador from Ethiopia, and have been rallying support from allies like Egypt and the Arab League. This has created a tense diplomatic standoff. Egypt, already at odds with Ethiopia over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on the Nile River, sees this as another move by Addis Ababa to expand its regional influence. The situation is a powder keg, threatening to destabilize an already fragile Horn of Africa. The international community is watching nervously, with the US and the EU urging dialogue and respect for Somalia's territorial integrity. But Berbera isn't the only piece on the board. Let's travel south to Kenya and the port of Lamu. This is the other major part of Ethiopia's diversification strategy. Lamu is the centerpiece of a massive infrastructure project known as LAPSSET, the Lamu Port South Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor. The vision is huge: deep seaport, new highways, railways, and oil pipelines connecting Kenya, Ethiopia, and South Sudan. The first few berths at Lamu Port are already operational, and the corridor aims to create a second major economic artery for Ethiopia, this time through its southern neighbor. Unlike the Berbera deal, the Lamu project is based on traditional bilateral cooperation with Kenya. It's less politically explosive, but it comes with its own set of challenges. The LAPSSET project has faced significant hurdles. Security is a major concern, as the corridor passes through areas prone to instability and attacks by militant groups. The sheer scale of the project also means it requires enormous funding, and progress has been slower than initially hoped. The road and rail links on the Ethiopian side are still under development, meaning the full potential of Lamu as a gateway for Ethiopia is yet to be realized. However, the commitment from both the Kenyan and Ethiopian governments remains strong. They see LAPSSET not just as a transport project, but as a tool for regional integration and economic development that could benefit millions of people. For Ethiopia, Lamu represents a safer, more conventional bet compared to the high-risk, high-reward play in Somaliland. So what we're seeing is a two-pronged strategy. On one hand, you have the radical, game-changing deal with Somaliland for Berbera, which offers a quick, direct solution but comes with immense political risk. On the other hand, you have the slow, steady, and collaborative development of the Lamu corridor with Kenya, a long-term project with fewer geopolitical fireworks but significant logistical challenges. It's like Ethiopia is betting on two horses in a race for sea access. The Berbera deal is the sprinter, aiming for a quick victory, while the Lamu project is the marathon runner, built for endurance. By pursuing both, Ethiopia is hedging its bets, ensuring that its economic future isn't tied to a single port or a single political relationship. This quest for sea access is about more than just economics. It's about national pride, strategic security, and Ethiopia's ambition to reclaim its status as a regional powerhouse. Having its own naval base would allow Ethiopia to project power and protect its maritime interests in the Red Sea and beyond. It fundamentally alters the balance of power in the Horn of Africa. This has neighbors like Djibouti worried. If Ethiopia diverts a significant portion of its trade to Berbera or Lamu, Djibouti's port-based economy could take a massive hit. This economic competition is adding another layer of complexity to the region's already tangled web of alliances and rivalries. What happens next is anyone's guess. Will the Ethiopia-Somaliland deal hold, and will other countries follow Ethiopia in recognizing Somaliland's independence? Or will pressure from Somalia and its allies force Ethiopia to back down? Can the LAPSSET corridor overcome its financial and security challenges to become the transformative project it was envisioned to be? Ethiopia is navigating a treacherous path. A misstep could lead to conflict, while success could unlock unprecedented prosperity and reshape the Horn of Africa for generations to come. This is one of the most fascinating and consequential geopolitical stories unfolding in the world right now, and the future of an entire region hangs in the balance. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of Ethiopia's port strategy? Is it a brilliant masterstroke or a reckless gamble? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on global affairs. See you next time.